with making an HSI stake using Hedron. So just so people know, it's like taking your HEX and you put it in a little jar and then you stake it. And then you can turn that into an NFT and trade it and sell it if you want. And you can also borrow. You can pre-mint all the Hedron you're going to get for the whole stake. You can have it now, but you got to make monthly payments to pay it off. If you don't pay those off, you lose your HSI and they take it away and it goes to the auction house. And now with Icosa, you can take that NFT and you can trade it in for Icosa immediately. And then the Icosa contract is going to borrow against it and never pay it back. And then it goes to the auction house in 90 days. So it all depends on the price of Icosa. Because if you can take HEX, put it in an HSI, and then trade it in for Icosa, and then get that Icosa and sell it for more money than it cost you in HEX, you can keep doing that. So that's what's going to actually make the price of Icosa track. It's going to be like stuck versus the price of HEX, because you can always turn HEX into Icosa.
Yeah.
So it's going to have this weird, it's kind of like a feedback loop. I gave up some HSIs, some small ones to get some Icosa in the beginning in the first day, and then I staked it. And that actually was a good play. The Icosa price has been pretty stable, like $1.20. And then that's been giving me more yield than Hedron and Icosa. So it actually worked out. But so I like HSIs.
Are people doing that with HSIs? Just like, are they making some 5555 HSIs and then they're like, just go through that. You got one 5555 HSI stake. What can you do with it?
Yeah, pretty much. You can give it to the Icosa contract. You can you give up your HEX stake, your HSI, and then you get Icosa coins. If it's a 555, if it's a max length stake, you get a bonus. You get extra Icosa. So really, there's no reason not to make a 5555 if you're going to do this. You might as well max it out because you get extra. So Icosa incentivizes people to lock up HEX 5555. That's the trick. That's what Alex designed it to do. It's to trick you into making a 555 stake and then giving it up.
Right. Okay. So you can do it. You can give it to the contract, and there's no time period on that. Like you can go right now to the portal, turn it into Icosa. Yeah.
Yes. Instant. As soon as you give up your HSI, you get the Icosa right now.
Okay. Yep. So Icosa, and then just the auctions. Is there any strategy around borrowing against them? Do you have to wait till once you make one, you have to wait a certain period of time before you can borrow so much that it even makes sense to go, do that with other opportunities, staking or otherwise? Is there any case that makes sense where you can use HSIs as leverage to
the borrowing of the Hedron? If you want to pre-mint all your Hedron, I don't like it. No, I don't think there's a benefit to it. I don't do it. No. Because then if the Hedron price keeps going up and you borrowed and then you let's say you sold all that, well, now if the price of Hedron keeps going up, your loan is going to get more expensive to pay back. So you just took out $100 loan and now you owe $1,000 back. Bad, terrible. So I would never borrow the Hedron. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just thinking it because if you get liquidated, it goes to auction, it burns it. Yeah. I guess you would just need a lot of those to happen and a lot of big ones for it actually to be any kind of supplemental for your own bag in that way. No.
Yes. That's what happened on the first day of Icosa. Is 2,000 or 3,000 HSIs got sent in for Icosa immediately. Those are going to be coming up for auction on November 14th.
Right.
So now the play is buy Hedron as cheap as you can. So keep minting your Hedron from your HEX stakes and buy it when it dips. And then on November 14th, we're going to the auction house, boys, and we're going to get some juicy HEX stakes that people gave up. We're going to buy them. So that's the play right now.
Okay.
Is hoard your Hedron. Don't stake it. Just get as much Hedron as you can and get ready for that auction house. That's what I'm doing. That's my plan.
Okay, so get ready for the auction house and then to bid on them, to attempt to acquire them. I know I've heard a lot of people bid on them, and it's been pretty ferocious. It's been pretty hard to get them. Yeah.
Yes, and you better come with a lot of ETH gas because it's going to cost you $1 or $2 each time you bid.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a bloodbath. So yeah, it's going to be a shit show. I can't wait.
So once you get them, once you get the HSIs, I guess elaborate on why is it a good thing? Why would I go bid on these HSI auctions? What am I really getting in return? What can I do with them?
Yeah, like for me personally, I want my HEX stakes back. Those HEX stakes that I give up for Icosa, I want them all back. And I know which ones are mine because they all have it like an ID number you can look up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to buy all my HEX stakes back. The ones that I gave up, I want them. And then I'm going to get other people's too. Yeah. And then you get those HSIs. And then those produce me more Hedron every day. And then I'm going to mint that Hedron and stake it. You know? And if the price of Icosa goes high enough, then it makes sense to give up the HSIs again and get more Icosa.
I was going to say, yeah, would it just be a circle? Would after that, like, so I guess what determines whether you do that circle, whether you just get the HSIs back and then you trade them in for Icosa? Like, what determines if you do that or not?
If the price of Icosa is high enough, it's worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can like sell that HSI and get Icosa, and that Icosa is worth more than the HSI would cost to make right now, then it's a no-brainer. It's like free money. Yeah, gotcha. But it probably won't because everybody's already doing that, right? It's like people are going to, and that's what's going to happen on November 14th. Is the auction house is going to open. There's 2,000 HSIs. I think probably half of those are going to get bought by people and then traded back in again for Icosa. So every 90 days forever, you're going to have this HSI just auction house bonanza of just these rotating stakes that get resold for Icosa every 90 days. I think if that keeps going, that's good for the project. That's bullish. We want that.
For Hedron or Icosa?
Hedron and Icosa, both. It helps both.
Well, so when I was talking to Alex about this too, I think he mentioned it was kind of a self-balancing system. But when you say it, it sounds like it makes me think, oh, okay, is inflation in Icosa a problem? Like I know there's something to make it not a problem, but it sounds like on the face value that's a lot of inflation coming, at a lot and at regular intervals.
Yeah, that's where the staking of Icosa really comes in to get it locked and out of the market. Because if you could not stake your Icosa, let's pretend, then yeah, you would just dump it into infinity, right? Kind of like what happened to Hedron at the beginning. Okay. It's like it's just people keep minting, people keep selling because they had nothing to do with it. But the fact that you can stake your Icosa and lock it, that'll save a lot of downward price pressure.
Okay, so staking saves that part. Okay, what is because I know there's a lot of excitement when Icosa first came out. I know everyone's like a Hedron bull now. What are the criticisms of Icosa? Like, why would you now that things have kind of settled? It's been 2 or 3 weeks, a month or so since launch. Are you still as excited about Icosa as you were at launch, or have you seen like, oh, okay, I'm glad I didn't go too hard because I think Hedron's a more profitable play? Like, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, so far I love it. I have no complaints. The staking your Icosa has been very profitable. That actually gives you a better daily yield than staking Hedron. So far so good. I
gotta say, yeah, I've seen the reflections of both of those, and Icosa, the yield has been nice.
Okay. Yeah, and you get paid in Icosa and Hedron. So it's
yes,
yeah, right.
That's the coolest thing. You get both. Like I think, and the Hedron number ain't small either. It's not like you get a little bit. I mean, it's nice.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. Not a little bit.